Is downtown living really that expensive? Are the suburbs boring? Well, stay tuned. We're gonna bust through some myths about living in Cincinnati, whether you're in the urban downtown or in the sprawl of the suburbs. All right, y'all, let's settle this once and for all. What is better, downtown Cincinnati living or living in the sprawl of the suburbs? What's better for you? Of course, I already know my answer, and you probably watched our other videos. Hopefully you've watched our other videos so you know where I live, but that doesn't mean it's right for everybody. I'll humor you, and I'm gonna go ahead and sell you on the whole downtown living lifestyle. So living downtown means your day-to-day lifestyle is so connected. You step out of your door, you're in the middle of everything. That could be a Reds game. We're in Bengals season, so a Bengals game, Who Dey. You could be right there, or you could walk to the Andrew James Brady Concert Center and actually go to a concert. There's coffee shops, there's just walking trails, there's everything you could ever imagine. Heck, there's even those little red bikes that you can ride around. And the walkability is hard to beat because in the suburbs, your daily routine is just a little bit different, right? It's more about the space, the calm. You're probably driving a little bit more, maybe a 2-car garage, a backyard. But after work, you can walk the neighborhood or you can grill out in your own backyard. Of course, you can walk your neighborhood downtown too, but it's just different, right? Well, with the convenience of living downtown, you're usually trading off a bit of that outdoor space and space in general. Most downtown is filled with condos, lofts, apartments, maybe row-style housing. But downtown is all about not having a huge space, not having that huge backyard. It's more about being close to the action, everything at your doorstep. And I mean literally at your doorstep. Most places downtown have better amenities. You don't have to worry about spending your free time mowing your lawn, taking care of landscaping, just general outside maintenance because you're living inside and enjoying the outdoors of being out in downtown Cincinnati. And downtown Cincinnati has so much to offer. It also comes with different priorities, right? Convenience, walkability. Downtown really wins compared to a lot of the suburbs. So when you take that all into account, of course, downtown does win there. But if you want room to spread out, little elbow room, maybe the suburbs win. Maybe the suburbs just give you a little bit more space outside. Let's dive now into housing, the homes that you're living in downtown. You'll find a lot of historic loft conversions, modern high-rises, condos with all sorts of shared amenities, from gyms, rooftops, pools, all the fun stuff, right? Lots of apartments down there. But also downtown can have the best of both worlds. It can have convenience and lots of square footage. So we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about actually listings we have right now in downtown Cincinnati. We actually have a couple that are the best of both worlds, right? So we have one that has convenience and tons of square footage. It's a home directly across from Washington Park, Music Hall. All of this area was just revitalized over the past handful of years, and it's incredible. No maintenance whatsoever, no snow shoveling, no exterior work that you really have to do. You just get to enjoy the OTR over the Rhine community. Now let's dive into the suburbs. These are more single family homes often. You have brand new builds with open floor plans, modern amenities, yards, porches, you name it. Living in the suburbs really gives you more flexibility. If you want a home office, a basement, a rec room, a fenced yard, you have all these options. And that's what's rare about the suburbs as it competes to actually living downtown. Having that in downtown does happen from time to time, but it can be very rare. You can occasionally find the space to build your dream home, but it can be a challenge. It's much easier if you want to build and do something new in the suburban areas versus in the downtown areas. Let's also touch base real quick when it comes to cost, because that's always a big question that we get. Generally speaking, the price per square foot is lower in the suburbs because of the way the homes are built. So your money stretches just a little bit further than downtown. The cost per square foot is much higher in downtown places, often because it comes with amenities, lots are tighter, your footprints are a little bit tighter, you're not filling up on gas twice a week, so maybe that can help offset the cost. Also, I want to make a point to say is when you get smaller square footage, your cost per square foot just tends to rise in general. That's just an issue that we contend with because smaller square footage, you still typically have kitchens, bathrooms, those sorts of things, just not the other areas where you can spread that cost around. Now, both urban and suburban areas really have a lot of bang for your buck. They're strong investments in most cases. Downtown is great for people who value convenience, and the suburbs maybe are looking for buyers who are looking for something more long-term or something. Maybe they have a growing family, they need more space. Maybe they just want to be close to other folks that live in a certain area. But each area has different value props for different people, and the values can really hold strong. Diving next into transportation, this is one of the most obvious. One of the biggest differences between downtown Cincinnati and the suburbs is transportation. If you live downtown, you might not even need a car. Heck, you can use a bike, you can use a little Segway. Of course, the streetcar was put in a number of years ago, and that's a really popular way to get around town. Or you just walk, you can just do it the easy way. In the suburbs, it's probably not as convenient. You can walk a little bit, you can enjoy in areas like Hyde Park and Oakley, you can walk just a few minutes to get to maybe some of the local conveniences, but oftentimes you're hopping in your car to drive. Now those are all huge perks of living, whether you're in an urban area or a suburban area. But if you take the suburbs, it's not always what people think. Take Oakley and Hyde Park. For example, you're only about 15 minutes or less to downtown Cincinnati, depending on where you are. And the majority of Cincinnati suburbs tend to be really close to major highways, which means you can easily get downtown. So you're not so segued off, or you're not so sectioned off from these areas where you can't go drive down to a Bengals game, hop in an Uber, taxi, whatever it is. Having easy access to the highways is really a great convenience. Also, if you live in an area like Blue Ash or Montgomery, you're still close to I-71, Cross County, I-275. It's easy to get downtown to enjoy those areas, but you also can have other convenient areas where you can walk to and drive to enjoy, like Summit Park. So the suburbs still have areas where you can walk, and you don't have to get in the car if you don't have to, but oftentimes people still need to get to certain areas, whether it's the grocery store, maybe driving to work, family, whatever it is, it normally means you gotta hop in the car. So moral of the story, you can get to downtown Cincinnati if you live in the suburbs just as easy. And the suburbs can go as far out as up into Mason or maybe even Lebanon. But living in suburbs like maybe Milford, Loveland gives you that sort of balance. You get kind of a small town feel with trails, rivers, walkways, parks, you name it. But you still can drive to downtown in under a half hour. It's pretty dang close, but still have that vibrance of a small little neighborhood of sorts, maybe a little downtown district. Not quite like living in an urban district. So it really depends on you as far as transportation goes. Do you want to ditch the car and live in the middle of everything, and the downtown's your spot? That's where you want to be. It's where people will come to see you. Or do you want to be in the suburbs? You have a lot more options. You can spread out, you can hop in the car, you can be anywhere you want, probably 10 or 15 minutes, pop on a podcast, have a moment to decompress before going home. Some people love that. Some people need that time where they're just in the car mindlessly driving for a while. So to pick your poison, what's best for you? It's different for everybody. Entertainment-wise, of course, downtown shines. You have the Aronoff, Fountain Square, Findlay Market, dozens of breweries, rooftop bars. You are never, ever, ever gonna be bored. You're never probably gonna be in your apartment or house or condo, whatever it is. And in the suburbs, the lifestyle is a little bit different. It's block parties, neighborhood cookouts, youth sports, maybe driving to a brewery and enjoying it, maybe driving to a park and enjoying it, or you can go to the small town shops and restaurants. Yet you're still only 20, 30 minutes from downtown, plus you got easier access to places like Kings Island, golf courses, hiking, trails, whatever it is. Tons of entertainment in both options. It just depends on how quickly you want to get there. Both sound pretty good, to be honest, and they are. It's all about what you are looking for. What do you want on a day-to-day basis? If you only have limited time between work or kids or whatever it is, what do you want to be close to? What do you want to do on your day, in your time off? That's really important. Downtown feels vibrant, fast-paced, diverse. Downtown, you run into new people every day, and there's always some event happening or some festival happening that you get to enjoy. Heck, you might just stumble onto one day. The suburbs feel a little bit more close-knit, right? You're really gonna get to know your neighbors. You probably have neighbors on both sides that you get to see outside as well. There's a strong sense of community between schools, churches, sports, leagues. It's maybe a little less transient, so that's why you see the same people on day in and day out. Suburbs around Cincinnati keep growing. They're past the I-275 loop. There's new developments, shopping centers, schools, you name it. That can all mean strong, long-term investment potential. So if you're investing, values just keep shooting up right now, especially over the past 10 or 15 years. And downtown keeps evolving too, which is really cool. New restaurants, hip restaurants, more events, revitalized neighborhoods. The energy just keeps building. So either way, you're buying a place with growth. It just really depends on what you want. At the end of the day, it's not about downtown versus suburbs and if there's a winner. Instead, what you're looking for is lifestyle. Lifestyle is the biggest key. How do you want to live? Young professionals, first-time buyers, young people, what energy do you want? Downtown is perfect, and for families, people who want more room, maybe safer streets with their kids to be running around, a quieter lifestyle, the suburbs are ideal. The good news is Cincinnati is the best of all worlds, of both worlds, every world. Downtown living, suburban living, we have a big city, but it feels small and intimate. You're only 20, 30 minutes from anything you really could ever want. The OTR has plenty of great restaurants. On the weekends, you can go to Summit Park, go to Kenwood Shopping Center. You can do it all no matter where you live. Cincinnati's got a spot for you. It's the best part about Cincinnati. That's why we love it so much. In fact, I've got the opportunity to travel all around the world, and I've lived in different places. And coming back to Cincinnati is one of my favorite places because of how it feels. Now, of course, I grew up here, so it might be different for many, but I know there's so many people that are transferred to Cincinnati and end up leaving, and all they want to do is come back because of how much they enjoyed Cincinnati. And that doesn't matter whether it's downtown in the urban areas or maybe it's in the suburban areas like Montgomery, Mason, Indianola. It's what draws people back is all the different elements, the people, and everything we have here. So let us know what you prefer. What do you like most? Do you like the history of living down over the Rhine? Do you like maybe the new suburbs and the new development districts that are in Montgomery or in Mason? You're gonna tell us down below in the comments. Tell us what we missed. What other considerations should people have? This is a resource to people moving to Cincinnati or moving within Cincinnati. And of course, lean on us as a resource. We've been fortunate to sell a number of homes, whether it's in downtown Cincinnati and urban districts or off in the suburbs. So please reach out to us today. You can go to our website, oylerhines.com. You can reach out to us directly at hello@oylerhines.com. We'd love to start the conversation, love to help point you in the right direction, and just answer questions to be a resource. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for our other videos. We have tons of fun videos on the history of Cincinnati because downtown there's so much rich history and new developments that are happening in the suburbs. So please stay tuned for our next video or take a look at our playlist down below and look at our past ones. We hope to see you again.